Hey you guys, it's me Laura. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids ages 12, 10, and 5. And today I'm super excited to share with you what we have scheduled for our upcoming unit study. We have about 3-4, give or take, weeks left of our ancient Rome unit study. So I went ahead and got this unit study completely prepped and ready to go. I refined it a little bit more. I had kind of the bones laid out for a while, but I'm doing a lot more planning with my unit studies and pulling in more subjects, which is working really well for us. So for this unit, we are going to be doing a games and logic unit study. I'm excited because I think it's going to provide us a lot of opportunities to play games, do projects and fun things together, and hopefully it will be a fairly low-key unit. The main 2 books that I'm using for this unit are Escape from Limoncello's Library and Game Logic. This is by Nomad Press. This is like a textbook style, but I really enjoy their books and the kids do as well. So what we're going to do is this is going to be our read aloud. This is also going to be where we work on our language arts skills. So for this, I purchased a resource from Teachers Pay Teachers. And I think it really just saved me a lot of time to not have to do it myself. And I really like what the author put together. And for this, we are going to be going through chapter by chapter, and there are activities and lessons in here. But one of the things that they have that goes throughout is creating your own game. It takes you step by step through prototyping, planning, testing, revising, all of that. So that's going to be the project that I have the kids work on. I'll let them decide if they want to do it individually and do their own games, or if they want to work together as a team. I kind of hope they work together because I think it will make the process easier for them, but I am going to leave that up to them. So when I start, I always have a planning sheet, just because when I know where things are going, it makes it so much easier for me to plan. Typically with unit studies, we have book baskets where we either one day a week, or when we start the day, just depending on our season of homeschooling, the kids can pick whatever they want to read, and we kind of get exposed to more of the topic that way. They can go on rabbit trails that they're interested in that we may not be covering as much as a group, and so that's kind of a good way for us to spend time together. They have a choice of doing it by themselves, but we always just end up snuggling up together, all of us, and read through everyone's stories. But this time we're going to do something different. Instead of a book basket, we're going to have a game basket, and we certainly have some games that we can pull from our game closet, some that we haven't even played yet, and we also have the library that we can check games out from as well. And the library has some games that are mentioned in our Game and Logic textbooks, so instead of purchasing them, I do plan to check those out while we're working on the unit, and so I'm really excited about that. And these are some of the other games I got. My kids have not played Clue. I'm actually excited because this month my oldest and I are going to go see Clue performed at our local theater, and that is going to be really fun because he'll have that background when we come to this. But they use this to explain storytelling in games and how having a story behind the game that's not just the regular play can make it a lot more fun. And then they also talk about Ticket to Ride and some other games. So I got Ticket to Ride Junior, and I'm hoping that we can include my little one with this. It says age 6 and up. She's going to be cutting it close, but I figure we can try. I also got the original Ticket to Ride, and so I think that's going to be a really fun way to play, try new games. These games are talked about in the book. And like I said, there's some other ones, like Pandemic is a game that they talk about that's up at our library. And I think Carcassonne? No, not Carcassonne. We have Carcassonne. The one that they talk about is Settlers of Catan. So that one's up there as well. So we'll just have lots of fun playing games instead of our book basket. After book basket, we have literature. So literature is something I do with them one-on-one. It's separate from our read aloud. I give them more autonomy over what they pick with that. And it's just stuff that we read together, and I'm moving toward it being mostly just for fun. So our language arts will always either be connected to our group read aloud, or it will be connected to their personal literature. So for this unit, it's going to be connected to the read aloud, so they can pick whatever they want and we can just have fun reading. I did go ahead and make a list of the books that are referenced in here. There's a ton of them for each age group, and those are options that we can consider when we're looking at our new lit book to start with each one, but we definitely don't have to stay to that list. I just put that together as an option for them. And for language arts, what we are going to be doing is I found an excellent resources on Teachers Pay Teachers. I don't remember who created it. I'm pretty sure it's a homeschooling mom who made it. and I will put a link below with this resource. But one of the most difficult things about this book is keeping track of all the characters. There are so many characters, it can be very confusing. And so her resource makes that super easy. It comes with these printables where you can keep track of each of the characters and write down what you're learning about them, what they're doing. There's also a place where you can move around game pieces for each of the characters because they kind of jump back and forth between different teams. They're constantly switching teams in the book, which also makes it tricky, but if we're keeping track of that together, that will help. And then also, as kind of a fun side thing, she has a place where you can track the clues for the escape in the puzzle in the book overall to kind of be making guesses about that along the way. So I put all of those together in this notebook for the kids so that we can be keeping track of that. And in her resource, she doesn't just leave it to you to figure it out. It's got all the answers in there that's going to make it really easy for me to help them keep track of that, know which chapters we need to be adding stuff in, and that's going to be really nice. Also, with that resource, there are questions for every chapter, like discussion kind of questions. So we are really working on writing a lot in our homeschool and improving that, especially academic writing. My middle is excellent with the creative writing. My oldest really loves poetry writing, but we are going to be working on some more academic style writing. So what I have done is I've taken the book, The Writing Revolution, and I've taken the questions that the creator of this resource put together, and I picked one question for each section that we're reading. So I read all the questions she had and picked which one I thought would work better, and I expanded on them. So the Writing Revolution gives a lot of very specific prompts for very specific things based on difficulty and ability. So I took some of those prompts and wrote them in here. For example, this first on chapter 3, it says, would you want to be friends with Kyle? Why or why not? So I'm going to have them pick right off the bat whether they would or would not want to be friends with him. And then they're going to circle that answer for all of these prompts. And they're going to write, I would or would not want to be friends with Kyle because, and they're going to have to tell why. And then I would or would not want to be friends with Kyle, but, and they're going to write, okay, so I would or wouldn't want to be friends with him, but there's also this thing to consider. And then last, I would or would not want to be friends with Kyle, so that is different than because, but that might be so I would try to make friends with him, so I would try and be on his team, or, you know, things like that. So this is just to kind of help them think deeper, and we're going to do several of these throughout that. And the idea is getting them to write more complex sentences that are really deeper and more thought-provoking. So we're going to be working on that. Let's see if I can find another example. On chapter 11, what is your favorite part of the new library so far? Explain why. But I want them to write their answer in riddle form because there's so much riddling. There are so many riddles throughout this unit. I want them to have that opportunity. So it just goes through, and so there's going to be one writing prompt every day. And some of them are easier, some of them are more complex, and that's going to be part of our writing for this unit. Now you can see here on this notebook, I've got tabs for them to keep track of their character files, their team tracker, who's on what team, the clues for the story, their questions that they're going to write every day, and then they also have this design notebook part. And I have just taken the things that they're going to need to be writing from the game logic book so that they can have a place to put that, keep that organized, keep it all together, write all their notes there as they're creating their game. And this book is really cool. It goes through the history of games, like where they came from, the progression. It talks about modern additions of technology and how that has affected gameplay. It also talks about our brains and the way that our brains respond to games, what makes them so fun, what makes us enjoy them, why do we like games so much. And it also goes into the future of games as well. And all throughout, there are loads of QR codes, and there are also loads of activities and resources, but they do have this one thread throughout with some of the activities where the kids make a game and they take them through step by step how to do that. So I have taken all of these and plugged them into our unit. Once we kind of get going and play some games and get familiar with a few things, they're going to start working on these step-by-step activities to create their own game. And I think that it's going to be really fun, and I can't wait to go through it. At the end, I'm thinking we might watch a movie. I just found out that there's a Mr. Lemoncello's movie on Netflix, which I didn't know about, so that might be a great choice for us to watch. We could also watch Jumanji, which is another fun one. If we do that, I might try. I don't even know if you can get that game anymore, but that might be a fun one to do. That is all that I have for this unit, and I am really excited. I can't wait to get started. I love games. So if I'm going to be honest with you, this unit I think the kids will enjoy, but I really wrote this one for me. I love board games. I've always loved board games. I've had a very hard time getting my kids enthusiastic about them. So I'm kind of hoping that this will set the bug in their ear, because I would love to have a regular family game night. Like, that would be awesome. If they end up just getting through and not taking it farther, that is fine too. But this is a great way for me to share something that I love with them, where they can learn about history, they can learn about science, they can start a project, do a whole project from start to finish, and get the feeling of what that feels like to do that big long project and feel that sense of accomplishment at the end. So that is what I have for you. Again, I will leave the link below to the Teacher Bay Teachers file that I got, as well as both Mr. Limoncello's library and the Logic game from Nomad Press, that book. And if you guys would like, I'm happy to post just this little sheet with our lesson plans on it if you want it. It just has things broken down, but you could easily do this in a way that suits yourself as well. But that is all that I have, and I would love to hear from you guys. If you could create a unit study based on something that you love and you hope that your kids might develop a love for through that unit study, what would it be? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, if you like videos about books, homeschooling in general, library, all those things, please like and subscribe and share any of these videos that are really helpful for you with someone you think might enjoy them. I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.